Indie Mogul.
Hey everyone, and welcome to BFX. This week we're titillating your special effects taste buds and showing you how to make a fake tongue. Titillate your special effects taste... I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. This week's project is a realistic fake tongue and was requested by forum user Liho Productions. Inspired by tongue stretching scenes in A Christmas Story and Dumb and Dumber, we're going to show you how to make a fake tongue that you can stretch, cut, or stab. But before we start playing with our tongues, let's have Gary spin the wheel of prosperity to determine our budget. A small amount of plaster of Paris, a trial size of urethane rubber molding material, about 16 ounces of alginate, some paper cups, a Fuse FX trial kit, and a trial size of EcoFlex silicone rubber or dragon skin. Before we get started, I just want to point out that there are lots of different ways that you could make this fake tongue. And quite frankly, probably some cheaper ones. But since the Wheel of Prosperity was nice enough to give us $100, I thought it'd be fun to try and build this tongue with some new materials that we've never used before. But keep in mind, there are different ways to do it. And if you have a great idea, please leave a comment down below. Simple time lapse, woo! The very first thing you need is to make a mold of a tongue, and for that we're going to use alginate. Alginate has been used by dentists for years and is safe for your mouth. But still, I couldn't convince anyone else to let me pour blue goop on their tongue, so I did it to myself. Take a small paper cup and tape some plastic wrap to the top. Then cut off the bottom and cut a slit in the plastic for your tongue. When it's done, it should look like this. Now mix up your alginate and have your victim, volunteer, lay back and stick their tongue through the bottom of the cup. Pour the alginate, wait 4 to 7 minutes, and try your best to keep your tongue sticking out and still. When you're done, you should have an alginate tongue mold that looks something like this. My tongue is not that long, so we had to lengthen our mold with some cardboard and tape. Now, mix up some plaster of Paris and pour it into the modified mold. 15 minutes later, we pull this very phallic looking plaster positive out of our mold. Do yourself a favor and get a tongue model with a long tongue. Otherwise, you'll have to do a lot of hand shaping like I did. Once you're happy with your plaster positive, give it a quick coat of shellac to seal it. Keep going, you're doing good! Now we're going to make a rubber mold of our plaster positive. First, use something to suspend your positive in a cup so that the end doesn't touch the bottom. I use some screws and metal tape. Also make sure and use some kind of release agent. In a pinch, you can use Vaseline. Mix up your rubber compound according to the specific instructions and pour. Now you have to wait the appropriate curing time. Mine was 16 hours. The next morning, I carefully removed my plaster positive from the new rubber mold. Now, finally, we're actually ready to make the fake tongue. Apply a thin layer of Vaseline to the inside of your mold. Now mix up your EcoFlex or dragon skin according to the instructions. Also mix in some red or flesh tone pigments. Carefully pour into your mold and suspend some kind of anchor into the goop. Now you have to wait, again, for your compound to cure. When it's done, carefully wiggle and demold your new fake tongue. The last steps are to add some more color and trim your tongue. Remember that with the items listed in this episode, you have enough material to make at least 3 tongues. And if you buy more dragon skin, you can use the rubber mold to make as many tongues as you want. Well, that's it for this week, but remember that you can use these same techniques to make fake versions of other body parts. Don't do that. Also make sure and check out the newest show to be added to the Indie Mogul family, Movie Buzz. It's the funnest way to get your movie news and trailers and comes out every Wednesday and Friday. And lastly, check out our 12 DVDs of Christmas special. We're giving away 12 DVDs. All you gotta do is leave a comment, check it out. Here's the link. We'll see you next week.
If you want to give someone a 5 o'clock shadow, a little bit of gray face paint can do the trick, but don't go overboard.